So it's been a bit of a wait, but we've finally seen some footage from Marvel's Spider-Man game for the PlayStation was unveiled at E3. So joining me in the Wave Rider as usual are
Stuart,
Ross,
and Rob.
And I'm Liam, and this is a Legends of Podcasting. So let's jump right into it. The game's described on the Sony PlayStation website as a brand new and authentic Spider-Man adventure. Sony Interactive Entertainment, Insomniac Games, and Marvel have teamed up to create a brand new and authentic Spider-Man adventure. This isn't the Spider-Man you've met or ever seen before. This is an experienced Peter Parker who's more masterful at fighting big crime in New York City. At the same time, he's struggling to balance his chaotic personal life and career while the fate of millions of New Yorkers rests upon his shoulders. All right, so there's been a bunch of Spider-Man games that have been around before now. And myself, I know you guys play computer games pretty regularly. I don't really play computer games very often at all. Last time I played games regularly was back when we were little, and I'd go around your house, Stuart, to play on your Sega PlayStation, your Sega Mega Drive.
Sega PlayStation.
Well, I had PlayStation and a Sega.
Bootleg.
Yeah, it makes sense.
So
yeah, big golden axe, mate.
I don't tend to pay too much attention to game footage and that when it gets released, but I saw this footage from that came out of E3 of this Spider-Man game, and I couldn't look away. I ended up sitting down and watching all of the footage that they released because this looks awesome. This looks really cool.
Yeah, it does.
So what are you guys? I mean, you guys play. For me, someone who doesn't really play games very often, this stands out a lot to me because I haven't really seen the other stuff that's been coming out. But you guys do play regularly. What are your thoughts seeing this footage?
I'm really impressed by it so far. I mean, I know Stu, Ross, you guys are bigger Spider-Man fans than I am, which isn't to say that I'm not at all, but looking at what we've finally seen in terms of gameplay footage coming out of E3, it looks pretty on point. The character designs, I really think, are quite effective. They seem to have taken a bit of the classic Marvel and mixed it in with some of the more MCU.
Yeah, the trailer from the Raft, where you see sort of five of these Sinister Six. Costume designs are amazing.
They look classical, but with just a nice modern twist.
Yeah, they kind of take
instantly tell who they are.
A bit of inspiration from the MCU coming in there, I think. And but the thing that got me the most about the stuff we saw from E3 was the combat. I think.
Yeah, it's very much like Arkham, the sort of Batman Arkham games.
Yeah,
sort of taken that and then put a Spider-Man twist on it.
One of the things a lot I've seen in games journalism recently, well, when Arkham first came out, the Arkham games, was this combat would look great in a Spider-Man game, and it does.
It is. I think it does, especially playing all the Arkham games, which are amazing games. Some of the moves he does, you could never do as Batman, but you can definitely easily see Spider-Man doing it, and seeing some of the way you can interact with bits around the sort of scenery, like you can pick up a bin, or there's bits where there's like a sort of bit of racking or
crane, or swing around.
I kind of wonder because obviously going back to the Arkham comparison, you say for example the Bane boss fight in the first game, you had to dodge out the way of his attacks, make him hit things, and then knock him out when he was stunned. Obviously with Spider-Man's strength, you could have the scenery being not dismantled, he could pick up bits and throw it back at them.
Exactly. You could do things like
be a lot more environmental
activities. With the Bane thing, he was trying sort of knock him on the head so he would run in something. So he could just web his face. Yeah, you could have like Rhino charging at you, things like that. But yeah, I mean, I'm more about. I mean, there's been, as Liam said, there's been quite a few Spider-Man games over the years. And there's been
I think I've played all of them.
Yeah, I have as well. Yeah. This isn't the first time there's been a free roaming New York. That's not a new thing. But
Spider-Man 2 was the last one I played about that.
So that was the first one.
Yeah, Spider-Man 2, Spider-Man 3. Then you had Web of Shadows, which is probably still my favourite one.
I think the last one I played was Shattered Dimensions, which had the 4 different.
Yeah, but that wasn't free roaming, was it?
That was
level based.
But I kind of enjoyed the different takes on Spider-Man and that. Which
but then it had the 2 Amazing Spider-Man movies did a free roaming thing as well. I know they were good. They sort of have it. This one looks like it's got it down, like the way he swings. Just stupid things I like the way he swings. It's not the same motion every time. There's about 6 or 7 I've seen.
Yeah, the way he flips his keys into the bowl is just. The animations of the way he swings, these sort of some classic ones in there and some unique ones, and it looks at the way something I've never seen before that they actually are doing is you can run along the wall before, that's fine, but it's actually sort of swinging, landing on sort of the top of a building or a sort of water
tower or something, then just be able to jump off, then flick across and stuff, so you can actually move across.
It's a continuous movement.
Yeah, a lot easier. It looks a lot more fun. Combat, as I say, is a lot better. That's the one thing that sort of let all the other Spider-Man games down was, I guess, they all came out, before the Arkham games. I don't think I suppose Amazing Spider-Man ones didn't, but the other ones did.
They did adopt a little bit of the Arkham stuff, like when you were getting attacked when you were playing it on normal easy, you had the little sensors above the guy's head that were going to hit you, which is pretty much what the Spider-Man used to look like in the comics.
Yeah,
and they've changed it around now so it appears on his head to show that he's going to be able to hit, which is actually really good.
There's also a lot of the stealth mechanics in Arkham where you could hide on the gargoyles, come down and take people out. Yeah, that feels like it would work a lot better with a
And it's
Spider-Man.
also got the tech wheel on the D-pad, which is exactly what Batman had.
Yeah, but some of the tech was that tech thing where you sort of fire a sort of like little bomb, and if he's next to a wall, it fires a web to the wall and it throws him into it.
But you can throw it to another enemy now, and then you can pin them both
together. So much fun. I'm just going to be doing that all the time. That's what I remove.
Towards the end of the trailer, before he got attacked by all the suits in 6, there was a bit where he sort of powered up a super move, jumped in the air, and webbed up about 20 villains at once.
That's the old XB triangle circle maneuver.
Yeah, it looked like...
But no, again, from listening to the designers talking about it, it looks like that's a special move for a set suit, so there's going to be...
So it sounds like has different
every suit you can think of is going to be in this game. So you got ones from all the movies, all the comics.
Quite cool.
Like we've already seen like the latest Infinity War Spider-Man costume. There's the homemade one, the Homecoming one. Everything's going to be in there. And then so you got the suit that's actually in the game. So each suit's going to have its own special list of powers.
The suit that we've seen so far is his fully upgraded one. Yeah, you start off with the classic one.
Yeah, and then so they got that, but you could then so people can sort of choose the suit they want and the powers they want. You can actually swap the powers around as well. So I think he was saying that spinning move is a power with the most upgraded suit. I think it's great because I'm a big fan of like the Scarlet Spider, so I would probably you would choose that suit. Or
the Ben Reilly one.
Yeah, or
the sleeveless hoodie, man.
Sleeveless hoodie, or the symbiote suit. I'm massive. I love that as well. Or even just flipping between like the Infinity War one that came out recently. I think that's really cool as well. So it'd be very. Just that fact that you've got those skins, I think straight away, because usually they release a couple and then. Like it's 6 months or a year's time, they're like, "Oh, some new exclusive stuff you can buy." But this is all there straight away.
Yeah, I mean I did like what I saw, but the thing that got me initially when they first announced the game was they showed a lot of stuff that had a lot of. It looked like cutscenes, but they were QuickTime events thrown in for good measure. I've always disliked those in games when it's a fail state. So you'll be swinging, you're swinging through the air and you've got to tap A, B really quickly, or otherwise you smack into a wall. And it's like, well, it takes you out of the game a bit, and I didn't like that was in it. I didn't see a lot of that in the trailer footage from E3, so maybe they've toned it down in response to criticism from that. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, but the thing is, I've never really liked them either, but I feel like for Spider-Man, it's a good way of sort of showing off his spider sense.
It is.
He's realised, there's an ability, you need to move it. Because I think in the trailer, there's a bit where he flies through, like it looks like a door's closing or there's a thing, and then something comes at him and he quickly inverts up and hangs upside down. And I think that's a quick time event to dodge the attack, which kind of, I think it works for Spider-Man because it will indicate his spider sense. Yeah. But I prefer if they toned it down. It's only
as long as it's not like a complete fail state. Like like if you did it right, it would give an awesome spider move. If you did it wrong, he'd still get around the obstacle, but it wouldn't be quite as cool.
Yeah.
Because that's the one thing that gets me is when you're halfway through a sequence of 20 of them. And you press the wrong button combination, Spider-Man smacks into the wall and you have to start again. Yeah. And they did that in the Spider-Man 3 game. There was a woman that had no eyelids. Do you remember with the bomb? Yeah. That was horrendous. And then you just come in and fall flat on the floor. If you press the wrong button, he jumps out the window and hits the floor, face palms it. It's so funny.
It's the best thing.
I used to do that on purpose. It was hilarious.
Oh, whoops! The one thing I would like is because I was quite interested when they first announced the game. He only said one thing right at the very end of the trailer where he's pinned against the wall, and he couldn't tell who the voice was. And we now know I can never remember his name. It's Yuri something, the guy that does Sasuke from Naruto. Mm-hmm. So all I hear is Sasuke from Naruto. I don't hear Spider-Man. And I hope, because in Marvel Heroes, I don't know if you guys ever played that, where you had whenever you could buy the Spider-Man suits, and which depending on which suit you got a different voice actor. Yeah. Now, I doubt they'll do that because there's been so much dialogue in it. But even if they just had the one bit where you bought like the classic one for, say, the 90s cartoon head, Barnes, what's his name? The guy that did the voice for him there. When you're just swinging around the city, it has his voice. But I doubt they'll do that. But that would be a nice.
It has it as well. Watching the other day, because I have a little girl, Little Mermaid. He's the prince in Little Mermaid. I did not know that. I was watching the other day. I was like, "So he's like Spider-Man. What the hell's going on?"
Well, the prince in Tangled is Shazam.
Yeah, I know. I tell these princes are really superheroes. See, it's an actual thing.
Yeah.
Dear God.
but no, I'm quite interested as well what villains are going to do. Obviously, they've hinted at the ones from the raft.
Basically,
who's the sick one that you
yeah,
reckon?
Right at the end of the trailer, there's that sort of.
It lights up a little bit.
I reckon it's got to be Green Goblin because he looks really scared. With like Green Goblin's one of his big enemies.
Who's in the trailer? You got Electro, Rhino, Vulture, Scorpion, and the Negative Man.
Negative Man, yeah.
So yeah, there's obviously one more character.
Well, my initial thought when they were talking about it, they're like. They hint at there's somebody that was in charge and they say, oh, you can't kill him. My initial thought is it's Dr. Octopus. Because Dr. Octopus is the master planner and he was always thought actually in charge of the Sinister Six. But when I saw the lights, I'm like, unless he's got lights on the end of his
tentacles
thingies.
I think it's a glider.
Or when I first watched it, I thought it was Iron Man.
Yeah.
I feel like, I hope it's not because I want it to be a Spider-Man game. But if Marvel are sensible, they want to at least tie it a little bit to the MCU.
Yeah,
and Iron Man is their most popular character.
Have you seen all the buildings there is? So you got the Avengers Towers in the game.
Exactly, Fantastic Four's buildings.
The Sanctum's in it from Doctor Strange apparently as well.
I hope the X Mansion's there somewhere in New York.
What you could do, I suppose, if I don't know if they'll do it or not, but you could have a couple of missions in the game where he's accompanying another hero to do something.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
You just felt like for one mission, they wouldn't even need to be an escort quest because obviously the heroes are themselves.
They were hinting that there's a few missions where you play as Peter Parker, and also some as Mary Jane as well.
That as well. Yeah.
So that'd be great. So you're not always Spider-Man. It's kind of interesting. So it's always a cool story. Oh yes, I know Kingpin's quite a big part of it. Apparently, you'll take him down.
So maybe you'll be playing alongside Daredevil for a bit and some of the Marvel.
Yeah, that'd be. I mean, I would love to. Yeah, that'd be really cool. You could do the sort of again if they wanted to take ideas from Arkham in the latest Arkham game. You had the combat fight where you could swap between Batman and Robin or Batman and Nightwing. That would be quite cool if you had like Daredevil and Spider-Man.
Yeah,
that'd be quite cool to do. I say I'm just looking forward to one of the usual thing with a Spider-Man game, just swinging around New York because it looks. Apparently, the demo that people were playing, there's been loads of footage online about it. That is just a fraction of where you can go.
Yeah.
So it's going to be crazy.
That's the one thing when you play the old Spider-Man games. The new ones not so much, but definitely the old ones. The city seems so empty. You see the odd car, the odd pedestrian, but this looks like a full-filled world.
You've got the PlayStations. I mean, it's going to annoy the Xbox loyalists, but I don't care about console things. But the PlayStation's obviously hardware is going to allow for a lot more background population.
That's the other thing is that because it's a console exclusive, they can just concentrate on that one. They don't have to worry about porting it and wasting half their time getting all the ports.
I hope they'll port it to other consoles later on down the line, and I hope when they port
buying a PS4.
Yeah, I'm buying a PS4, but no, they've said it's not coming to any other console.
Oh, that's fair enough. Okay.
But I'm not forking out money for a PS4 and then they
because I think they did it. Guys, if you played Horizon Zero Dawn, that was a PS4 exclusive, and that was an amazing game. But the technology they built that out of, because the level is so expansively huge, it works because it's just built for the PlayStation.
Yeah.
So and the amount of stuff they can cram into it because they're not having to focus on making sure it can run on multiple systems.
Exactly.
Yeah. So if they do that with this. If they're not going to port it another game, then fine.
Yeah.
Well, so you're saying about New York being really busy. So I've been there a couple of times. But Liam actually lives there.
Yeah.
He should know exactly what it's like. I'm interested if he ever get a chance to play it, swing around and go, I recognise that. Oh, I work there.
So I mean, there was a game.
That's one of the things that I've always thought was kind of cool. Like when the idea of doing a free roaming game that's set in New York City is the idea of it actually being an actor in New York City. So you could be Spider-Man and then climb up your office building, or like run down.
This is where I work, like the sixth floor of this building.
Yeah.
I don't know if they ever played.
I remember there was one point years ago, Stuart. I think it was the maybe the first. The computer game tied in with either the first Spider-Man movie or the second Spider-Man movie, which was an actual free roaming one.
Yeah,
and you got to swing around the city and. I played that for a few minutes with you, and my immediate thing when I then played that was to try and work out where I was in the city and try and get to areas. And the street layout was correct. The buildings all looked completely different, but the actual the street layout was accurate. But it would be cool if it would actually look.
I'm guessing that was it was 10 plus years ago. So I think now they probably have captured. I would think the building should be.
That's the thing. Did you play that? It was a bit like GTA, but set in London with a guy that was going after the guy who killed his wife. And the whole selling point of that game, I think it was PS2 one, was that they'd gone around the entire of London and mapped out everything and put that in the game. So London was London as it was in real life, but because it was a PS2 game, there was no one around. The streets were empty.
Yeah.
So hoping, and also Prototype? It was on the Xbox 360. You played that back in the day. That was set in New York, and it wasn't obviously lifelike one-for-one recreation of New York, but you go to Times Square and you go to other places. But they've actually managed to populate that game with a load of characters, so it looked like it was a full working
So
city.
yeah, this new one. This one, because another thing that's good about these games, you obviously have the main mission. Then you have these side missions where there's like a bank robbery going on. You have to stop. Like I think there's even, I swear I might be making this up, but I swear I saw one demo where some guy steals a woman's purse and you can go and stop that from happening.
Yes,
There's super little things like that. So you can go from like saving the world from the Sinister Six to stopping a mugger.
Saving the little guy.
Yeah, this kind of stuff. And then bank robberies. There's like car chases where you can go and sort of land on cars and take them out. So all these side missions as well. I don't know if they're going to do this game. I remember the last Spider-Man game, the Amazing Spider-Man 2. You actually got a sort of rep, so like these things would happen, and if you ignored them, you became unpopular.
Yeah, people would start booing you.
Yes,
in the
people would
street.
start booing you as you swung past. But if you did all these side missions while you were doing the main game,
would cheer, wouldn't they?
They would cheer as you go past. So I think that was quite a cool little thing to do.
The cool thing about that Spider-Man 2 was the best thing about that is when you'd get on the train. And it would take you back to Queens, and then you would end up back in your apartment.
Yeah, that's where you change.
And then you could change your costume, and you're like, we're in Peter Parker's room. That was quite a cool little feature. But the annoying thing about that, the camera's so close to the character, you couldn't really, when you were swinging, you couldn't really see that.
Yeah,
much.
this one looks like it's a lot further away.
Yeah.
I think like the Web of Shadows was the one. They've sort of gone through a similar camera angle to that,
Yes.
so it's sort of quite far away, so you can see where you're going.
Hopefully it'll be a bit more like the Arkham games where it's a bit dynamic, because I know when you get into a fight with a large group of goons in the Arkham games, the camera sort of pans out a little bit, because you then got you can see where everyone is on that section, and then when you come back to being just you investigating stuff in the detective mode, it comes back over your shoulder.
It'll be interesting as well, because I don't know, because obviously in Spider-Man you can stick onto anything, where I was noticing those Predator type things when they're doing demo, he goes onto like a sort of ledge or something, does it. But surely you could just go onto the ceiling and just crawl around and then come down.
Yeah.
That must be a thing you can do, but like, they didn't actually do that in any of the demos. But that'll be something interesting to try.
Interesting if they do like a detective mode, but like he uses his camera.
Stuff
Stuff like that.
I'm quite interested about. I like the way he's 8 years into his career as well. 7 years. Okay, 7 years into his career, because so you don't have the whole origin story. You don't have him starting out. He's actually a fully fledged hero.
He knows how to use his powers. And
he's got loads of tech that he can use. It'll be interesting to see who he's fought in those 7 years already. So obviously the 5 that are in the raft, he's fought before.
Yeah, he's in there. They're in there for him because he's.
But is Venom around?
I don't know. Hopefully he'll be in the game. It makes sense for him to be a villain there. So
Definitely.
So
it's definitely a must buy for me.
Definitely
we will be playing it much so.
Yeah, so that's it. What we know from the upcoming Spider-Man game, it's looking pretty damn cool. So let us know what you think about the game. You've seen the footage. Tell us in the comments, and you find us on social media and that's it, YouTube and anywhere where podcasts live. And we'd love to hear from you. So that's it from me.
That's it from me.
That's not it for me. I want to talk more.
And that's
See
it.
you guys next time. Spider-Man
Does whatever a Spider-Man can.